called. So having a discussion with a friend about PHILLIPS winning his election, winning his seat in northwestern Manchester, I decided to take another look at PHILLIPS. I came across a publication in the Gleaner's editorial section of last that was published on January 19th of 2024. And the headline says PHILLIPS assignment. Now a little background into PHILLIPS. He is a third-term MP for that constituency, and he's the Shadow Minister of Transportation for the past 7 years. Now this article was published in January of last year as a result of a campaign meeting they had in Westmoreland where PHILLIPS was one of the speakers. The publication coming out of that presentation by Phillips, the presentation articulated that he had no plans for the transport sector, of which he is the current shadow minister. They referred, the editorial referred to his plans as mishmash of ideas. A mishmash of ideas. However, I called it a concept of a plan. A concept of a plan. Between the word mishmash and my own interpretation concept of a plan, it means, Mr. Phillips, you have no plan. For 7 long years you have been that minister, shadow minister, but you have no plan. You're not ready. At no point in time you're ready. So if the government did even call a snap election and the PNP won it, you wouldn't be ready. Because I remember Mark Golden at some point in time a couple of months ago was crying out, Andrew, call election now, call election now. So it tells me, Mr. Phillips, that even then, if the election was called, you wouldn't be ready to assume your ministerial duty in the transport ministry. Here is Mr. Phillips. A couple of plans comes out in that speech, but I'm going to list them. Number one, here is Mr. Phillips' bold and daring plan when the PNP is re-elected to governance. 1. He's asking the country to give him 6 months and he will have a national transportation plan in place. Now, this is last year, but I'm saying this man is not ready. How can his promises be real? How can his promise be a real one? When currently, all he has is a concept of a plan or a mishmash plan. Number 2, the mishmash plan would cover, here is it. His mishmash plans would cover the JUTC routes in the Kingston metropolitan area, as well as the taxi route across the island. Also, he will create a better and a more comfortable transport hub in the town of Savannah Lamar. Now, this was all said during his campaign speech in January last year, which was over in Westmoreland. So it's very evident I can see him promising Westmoreland a better and more comfortable transport hub. What he means by that, I have no idea. And I'm sure I don't know what anyone could say, except him himself, what he means by a better and more comfortable. He also promised to resume rail service between Spanish Town and Kingston, which again is not anything difficult to do, because I don't even need to be the Minister of Transportation to resume that. Call me now, Mr. Government, and give me the task. I can put the things in place and get that going. You understand? To listen to him present his vague, nonsensical transportation policy plans which he aims to implement, as a prescription for the country's transport sector, This is very unacceptable coming from Mr. Phillips, who at least I know is a well-educated man. However, sir, there are two things that stand out here when I read this publication on the Gleaner. One, you were given a free ride on the PMP train to parliamentary office. In other words, you're a beneficiary of a free PMP seat. And what I don't understand, Northwestern Manchester is an agricultural community. You are the Shadow Minister of Transport. Now you tell me, what interest you have in your constituents? What interest would you have in your constituents as the Shadow Minister of Transport? And yet you're given a constituency that is totally and completely, I should say, an agricultural constituency. But why? Two, you are not a prepared civil servant, sir. You're not. I say that because it is evident you are not a prepared public servant. You are not prepared for this thing. And it is clear so far, Mr. Phillips, from your actions that you're not a prepared public servant. You're not prepared for this. You're truly not prepared, sir. I must ask these questions, though. I must ask this question of your father, Peter Phillips, and the leader of the PMP, Mark Golden, and the executive body of the PMP. At the time, why were you given that PMP seat in Manchester? I ask these questions because I know you're going to lose it. I know you're going to lose it, sir. You're up against a man, Damian Young, who the people in the community are quietly talking about. And as the election gets nearer, you're going to hear his name called more loudly. Because he has done for the community what you have never done. I have pictures of people's potato farm. Huntley, in the district of Huntley. People have a Irish potato on the ground burning up. No water. Sun is blazing. There's no water for their farm. And here the Shadow Minister responsible for transportation, who hardly has time because he has to attend Parliament 87% at the time, hardly have time for his constituents. And the people there are suffering. And ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the things we talk about. We talk about corruption. Father get their son into a safe seat. They don't have to do anything or contest for the seat, because the father already put them in a seat. So what they do, because it's a safe PMP seat or a safe JLP seat, they have nothing much to do. They don't care about people. They don't care about you, the constituents. What they care about is that they get a free ride to parliamentary office. And then, because they're educated, they're given a number of portfolios to take care of. So they have no time for you except when election time comes. And they have to campaign. So I asked Peter Phillips and Mark Golden and the executive body at the PMP, why even give you something that you won't even have time for? And I'm sure you're smart, so you're intelligent. Why would you even want to accept something that you will not have enough time to spare to oversee your own constituency? You live all the way in Dale St. Andrew. You're yet attending Parliament 87% of the time. So what time do you find to even drive down to Manchester? That's the kind of stupidity we are talking about. Like I said, you were given a free seat, a safe seat which you had to do no work. You were not required to do any work to retain that seat. You were not required to prove yourself to the people. All they want to know is that you're Peter Phillips' son. And that was it. You're truly not a civil servant, sir. You're more of an administrator. That's how I see you, as a more of an administrator. If the PMP wants some administrative work behind the scene to get things together administratively, that is your job. Tell them to create a new department of administration when they find it and put you in that portfolio, not as the Minister of Transportation. You understand? Because you're not moving different. You're not offering nothing different from what Darrell Vaz promised. Because remember, he promises 100 days plan, policy, and what changes will be made and all of these things. And still the transport sector is in a shambolic, chaotic situation right now. But I can't blame you, Mr. Phillips, because your action, your behavior, your performance is emblematic of the PMP's performance, of the way the PMP do things. The PMP sits and is waiting for the JLP to implode so they can come in. They have no real strategic plan to offer the country. No legs to stand and to say to the country such and such is this is what we're going to do, this is what we'll do different. These are our plans, our real plans. The door was kicked down and left wide open for the PMP to walk in and dismantle JLP when the budget presentation was done. The JLP left the door wide open for the PMP to walk in and kick over their bucket of their pail of milk. But because the PMP had no real plan to offer the country, they could not do it. So they're sitting and waiting, Mr. Phillips, just like I said, your action is emblematic of what is wrong with the PMP, sitting and waiting for the JLP to implode, which might never happen. I have said it from last year, June, sir. If you retain your seat in the next general election, then something is intrinsically wrong with our politics. And what our people and our people's expectation of politics. What does the people want out of politics? Something is intrinsically wrong if you win back that seat. As I said, I'm not a betting man, sir, but I take a bet on that. I would ask you though, Mr. Phillips, because I'm not here to really curse out no politician or, you understand? Because you're an educated man, you can learn and you should be able to learn fast. Take a cue from the present Minister of Transportation, Mr. Vaz. He made promises and failed at the promises. He asked 100 days and failed within the 100 days. You asked for 6 months without a plan. But my advice to you, sir, is to rethink your plan or redefine your transport policy to be one of an economically growth-driven plan. Because they too contribute, so that the department contributes in a very big way to the growth and development of the economy. So when people listen to you talk, there's something tangible in what you're saying. We can hold on to something and have hopes, oh yes, if you do this and do that, we can see the value of what you're saying. But this mishmash plan you have, sir, won't work. And don't come with this 6 months or this 100 days business. It won't work. You cannot fix the plans of the transportation sector in 6 months. It cannot work, sir. I don't even think when the PMP get in power, you can build a transport hub in Sablamar within 6 months. I don't think you can conclude that within 6 months. So all that nonsense, brother, is really a mishmash concept of a plan. I think, sir, like I said, you should redefine your plans. and present to the nation a 10 to 15 year plan that should redefine our shambolic and chaotic transport sector, inclusive of the rail, buses, cars, roads, transport center, and the private transportation sector itself. You understand? Because that's it what the country needs, Mr. Phillips. Now, I'm not convinced you're in a position to do that. I'm not convinced you can do it. But I'm not saying it's beyond you either, because like I said, I've been articulating all along. You're a well-educated person. You should be smart enough and you should be able to learn fast. But after 7 years, if you're not ready for the transportation sector, I don't know if you're going to be ready for it in the next year or in the next couple of months. 8 to 9 months. Where we are now. The 5th month. In the next 8 months. Because the election is going to be called within the next 8 months. I can tell you. Gonna call right after the New Year holiday is over. So I just want to say that once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lenny Robbins Show. It's important for us to get an idea to know our politics. It's more important for us to come together to create a better understanding for one and all. Like I said, none of us knows it all. None of us knows it all. And we have to listen, watch what our politicians say so we can watch what they do. It is important. And this is not about PMP or JLP because I'm talking about Mikhail Phillips. I've done some research on your performance from last year, Mr. Phillips. And I can tell you, in your district are only Irish potato farmers. You understand? I don't know if you have 15 votes left in that constituency. Because you really treat those people bad. A lot of them lost potato last year. A lot of them were saved by rain. Not even the provision of water from them MP. By rain, natural provision. And this is why I question, sir, a man who live actually half a day ride away from Manchester. If you drive out in the morning to get to Manchester, Northwestern St. Catherine, Northwest Manchester, you're gonna make a couple of stops along the way. So by the time you get down there, it's maybe 1, 2 o'clock. The only way you wake up early in Northwestern Manchester in your constituency, you have to sleep overnight. Book a hotel overnight nearby to be there. So you can't leave your house 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock to get there. No way. 1, 2 o'clock before you get to that district. So you have no time for your constituents. You have no time for your district. As I said, Mr. Phillips, I still maintain my little bet on you that you will lose that seat because you have not done one thing for your constituents. You understand? You're up against a man who has quietly laid some work in that community behind your back. I don't know if you know, well, you must be aware. But he has laid some work there. Damian Young. And please say you're smart. You have a lot of responsibility in your party. You're not just the minister of this. You're involved in a lot of things in the party. So speak to your party leaders. Sit them down. Speak to the executive if you people want to. Because it doesn't matter who is in opposition. The country also need a vibrant opposition party. We need a vibrant party in opposition. Just as we need a vibrant party in governance. And the PMP has not presented itself to the nation as a vibrant party up to this point. And if you really want to make a difference in the life of Jamaicans or in your portfolio as a civil servant to the country, then do the right thing, sir. Call your party together, sit down and talk to them, and you people come together and lick head and talk together. Same thing for the JLP. If this thing is about Jamaica, then why are you all cruising when you should be working? Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding for one and all. Like I said, none of us knows it all, so it's important we keep talking to each other, we keep sharing ideas. I'm gonna ask you to really, if you come across this video, share. Before you finish listening, if you are listening to this video, please share it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for those who haven't yet subscribed to this video. I'm hoping that people will start to wake up and realize themselves politically before it's too late. Because this is going to be very, 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 very critical to our own existence. Not just our personal existence, our individual existence, but the entire country's existence. And let them not fool you. The country is still in an existential crisis. Jamaicans all over, be blessed on this Wednesday evening. Stay strong, stay firm. Talk to you soon. Lenny Robbins.